Dan. Thanks for coming in this morning.
That's fine. How's your holiday?
Yes, it was lovely. Thank
Good.
you very much indeed. Yes, just trying to get back into the swing of things now. The reason I brought our monthly meeting forward by a little bit, I wanted to go through a couple of things that have come to light whilst I've been away that Nick's been discussing with me.
Okay. Yeah.
And just to have an opportunity for us to sort of to thrash some bits out and to see what's going on. I wanted to start off by saying, obviously, you've been with us now for it's about 4 months, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, 4 months.
So I thought it was a good opportunity to come back and have a review of that as well. First off, I think what I wanted to say to you was we are thrilled at the way you've settled into the team.
Good. Thank you.
We've been really pleased and hope that you're finding your feet and are quite happy with things. There have been a couple of issues that I did just want to go over with you to see how we can maybe help you with some more developmental issues on how we're dealing with various parts of the job. Okay. And that links into a couple of the issues that Nick's raised with me that's happened whilst I've been away. Okay. It centres around the... we've had a couple of complaints come through about your attitude on the phone to some of the clients and customers. Now, I obviously wanted to get your side of that because obviously, you know, I've heard one side of it and I wanted to hear your side. Were you aware that there have been any problems?
Yes, there was a call last week where somebody's been quite aggressive to me. I'm surprised they actually complained about me because I think their behaviour didn't bode particularly well.
Right.
But yeah, it's quite a difficult call, I think.
In what way was it a difficult call?
Well, they were being quite demanding about what they were asking for, and voices were raised, and as a result of that, perhaps, I guess being honest, I guess I probably said a couple of things that perhaps I shouldn't have said, but equally he was being quite aggressive to me, and you know, to be honest, I'm not paid to deal with that sort of aggression, and I found it quite difficult to deal with, I suppose. Did
you have anybody that could have helped you out with that at the time?
No, it was a lunch period and other people were busy and I couldn't pass it on. I mean, obviously previously in the past I've had difficult people and I've obviously passed them on to yourself. But obviously not being around it was difficult. So I tried to sort of muster through, but I guess if I'm honest, didn't handle it particularly well, I suppose.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, it's good that you've obviously identified that. I'm slightly concerned that you didn't have somebody that you could go to maybe chat about it afterwards, because obviously it's something that we have to deal with difficult clients and difficult customers all the time. And you're absolutely right. There's no reason why you should put up with people being abusive down the phone at you. But it's how we handle it, because it does obviously happen from time to time. Could you give me an idea of your best scenario as to how you would have dealt with that with a good outcome?
Well, I suppose ideally, I mean, things that were said on the induction course, I guess, you know, controlling it better, keeping my cool, making sure that we gave him the solution that he was looking for, and actually him thanking us at the end of the call. But it didn't happen that way, and I guess there are calls that don't happen that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there something particular, do you think, that you could have taken from your induction training, which, you know, you undertook that, and as I say, you've settled in so well into the role, so I don't want this issue to cloud what is an excellent start to the role. But is there something that you feel you're lacking in experience in dealing with these things?
On the induction training, it all sounded so easy, and we tried it out and it wasn't a problem. But I guess real life isn't quite like the sort of training room, and yeah, I suppose I found it difficult to deal with.
Looking back, sort of, because often, you know, what we do in a previous role, we bring to new jobs, and I'm conscious, you know, that before you were working with your financial advisors within the insurance company, how did you deal with difficult clients then?
To be perfectly honest, we didn't have that many, because we were dealing with a small number of advisors. They had most of the client contact. I dealt with them and gave them the backup support. So 99% of the calls I had were actually genuinely nice calls where people knew me, I knew them, and the relationship was there. So I haven't really had that much experience in dealing with difficult people, I suppose.
I am aware that obviously, when I'm around or when Nick's around, hopefully, you can pass those difficult clients across to us. But what I want to be able to do is develop you within the role so that you're confident in dealing with those people on your own. In the early days, it's absolutely fine and quite right that, if you're feeling out of your depth at all, that you pass it across to one of the more senior members of the team. But I want you to be able to have the confidence and the knowledge to be able to handle those things yourself, because it's very demoralising that you put a call down and you find it very difficult and you've had a nasty experience with a client. Could you give me some idea of what you think would be an ideal solution? If I could say to you, okay, Sam, what is going to make your life easier for dealing with these calls? Could you give me an idea of how I can help with that?
Well, I suppose ideally it's probably not having to take the calls in the first place, if I'm brutally honest with you.
Right. But being brutally honest back, that's not going to happen, as it's part of the role. So, taking into account the fact that, as you say, it's not your place to have people being abusive to you, but taking into account that some of the people we do, because we deal with the public and because we obviously have a proportion of complaints, people ring us up and they are angry. So you will get those calls from time to time. What will help you to deal with those successfully?
Well, I suppose if I go on some more training, it'll only cover more of the same. So I'm not sure it's really that. I guess it's I don't know. I really don't know.
If we looked at some training and development for you specifically related to this, so dealing with difficult and abusive clients and customers, whether that be face-to-face or over the phone, because as I say, the rest of the role you've got nailed, but I don't want this to, as I say, be blown out of all proportion. So if we looked at some tailored training specifically for you to go on, to give you some more tips on how to do it. I appreciate that you have done it in the induction, but now you've had some experience, you can take those examples into a training situation to see how you could deal with them. How would you feel about that?
I don't know really. I guess one concern is that other people in the team will see me going on remedial training, and that won't be good for my position in the team. I don't know.
I think it's important for you to understand that we all undergo training all of the time. It's not going to be a question of Sam can't cope with aggressive callers, therefore we've got to send him on a course to deal with it. I go on training courses all the time, as you're probably aware. I'm in and out of the office all the time. Nick goes on training courses. All the guys and the girls in the department all go on different things at different times for their own development. So I don't want you to see it as remedial training in any way, shape or form. It's personal development for you. There are aspects in the way that you handle things that you do so well that other people need to go on training to get up to the standard that you're at. So it really isn't looking and saying, Sam's not coping with this, we need to get him sorted out straight away.
Right. Yeah.
I wonder whether I looked at some specific training for you about this. You go on the course with some of your experience that you've got now for having had to deal with some difficult people, which is one step on from your induction. See how you cope with that, and then when you come back we'll have a debrief, see how useful it is, and then maybe do some one-to-one type coaching sessions with somebody sitting with you. I don't mean all the time, but every now and again.
That might be useful actually, because there are people in the team who do seem to do it well and can handle these people quite effectively. So perhaps that side by side with Francesca or Adam or somebody would be quite useful, perhaps.
Well, and I think the thing is, it works both ways. That you could actually listen in on the calls when they've got somebody aggressive and see how they're dealing with it, and they can give you feedback on that. You can also give them feedback on other things that you've noticed about them. It's all about developing ourselves. It really isn't a pointing finger exercise at all. It's looking at what we can do for you to get you settled, get you comfortable, and get you feeling that you can deal with any situation at any time.
Okay, well, should we try that?
Well, I'm very happy to do that if you're happy with that outcome.
It sounds good actually.
But I really don't want you to go away feeling that this is a problem that can't be solved, and it clouds all the other issues that, as I say, you've obviously settled in really well. So I'll look at getting that done as soon as possible for you, so we can get that sorted, and I'll let you know about that, and then we'll have a debrief when you get back and take it from there.
Okay, thank you. Yeah,
that's
thanks.
lovely. Okay, thanks, Sam.
Thank you.